Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and for those of you who are new, welcome. So for today's video, I am creating this street market and post office. I really wanted to connect my shopping district to my resident services, and since I didn't have any terraforming between the area, I thought that the best way to do it was to create this little flea market and a post office in between. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's just get right into it. So for this street market or flea market, I wanted to include an antique shop, a record shop, and eventually I felt like it was a little bit bare, so I ended up adding more and created a cake shop. And between the flea market and the resident services, I ended up putting a small post office. And I've actually had another post office on my island, and it was a much bigger post office, but I ended up tearing it down because it was right next to my canal and I completely cleared up that area. So I'm a little bit sad that I don't have that post office anymore since I loved it a lot. So the first thing that I did was I paved out the whole area, and after I did that, I measured out where I wanted my trees to be, and once I put those down, I did my fencing and added the stalls. Right now I am working on my antique shop. I really love this custom design on the stalls. I think it's very beautiful. It looks very in line with my theme, and I'm so happy that I found that code. And for those of you who are interested in all of the codes that I use, I will link most of them down in the description below. I unfortunately don't have the codes for everything, but I'm still searching for them. Right now I am just adding in some street lamps and manhole covers. I really love the way that manhole covers look like in this game. I feel like it makes the build look a little bit more realistic, which is something that I love doing in the game. And right now I am working on my record shop. I never thought about making a record shop in the game, but when I saw those KK slider covers, I just knew that I loved the colors and I really wanted to do something with it. So I displayed it in this little area, and I really love the way that it looks here. So right now I am working on my antique shop. I always do this thing where I always match all of the items that I put on my stands, but I felt like for this antique shop I wanted it to be a little bit more eclectic and unique. So I ended up just mixing and matching the items, and even though I wouldn't necessarily do this on all parts of my island, I just felt like it suited this area and it gave it a little bit more character. And right now I am just adding in some more fencing on the other side between the trees. At first I thought this was going to be the whole street. I ended up extending the street market and creating a second street, which will include a cake shop. So yeah. And right now I am just moving my manhole covers. I felt like they were a little bit too close to those tables, so I just moved them a little bit further away. And right now I am just adding in some final touches to my record shop. And right now I am just walking through my first street market, and this is where I realized that I wanted to extend it. So now I am extending the area and putting some pathing down, and eventually I will work on this area towards the end. And something I didn't show in this video, just to not digress from the whole build, was that I built up a whole cliff right in front of the cake shop, so hopefully in my future videos I will show what I've done there. I still don't have an idea of what it's gonna be yet, but I just knew that I wanted to switch up the levels since everything is so flat right now. And yeah, if anyone has any ideas of what I could put there or what else I can do, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. And right now I am working on my post office. I recently downloaded this new custom design. I've been seeing this custom design on Pinterest and everywhere, and I really love the way it looked. And as I've mentioned before, I will link all of the custom designs that I have used in this build in the description below. So right now I am working on my post office, and at first I thought I wanted to replicate my other post office that I've mentioned earlier, but I just knew that this area was too small to recreate it, and my previous post office was actually in between a terraformed area, and I felt like this one was a little bit more flat. And as much as I wanted to make that antique wardrobe work, I ended up just giving up and taking it away. Right now I am just putting down these antique tables, and I really love this antique item put side by side, and I like how if you go from the other side it kind of makes this barrier between the two areas. So I just put them facing the right, and I feel like it helped me section off two areas, so then I was able to create a little bit of an office on one side and a waiting area slash area where you can write some letters. And right now I am putting down these jail bars. I didn't know if I wanted to use it to separate the office or the waiting area slash letter writing area, but then I ended up using it for that area instead. And right now I am just adding in some final touches to the post office. I ended up moving that pile of Zen cushions and the book stands and putting it in this area instead. And right now I am putting down my tiny library as a post box and doing the same thing I do on most parts of my island, which is my cardboard box with a custom cushion on top and my scattered papers. So right now I kind of felt like the floor was a little bit bare, and I ended up just moving these boxes and cushions around to where I was happy with them, and eventually I just settled on having the scattered papers right in between. And right now I am just adding in the final touches for the post office. I added some items on the desk and that cartoonist set on the antique console table. So moving on, I am now working on that second street that I've created. It is going to be a cake shop, and I really love the way that this cake shop turned out. I think it looks very beautiful, and I think this area is one of my favorite areas on my island. I won't say my favorite because I know I've mentioned before that my Parisian flower stand was my favorite, but I am now starting to really love this area, and after I was done creating it, I really loved walking through it. So yeah, I hope you guys love it too. And right now I am just putting down these custom hats with these cake designs on them. I really love these cake hats, they're very beautiful, and since we don't have many cakes in the game that resemble the wedding cakes, I just thought that using these custom designs would kind of be closer to those cakes rather than using the mom cakes. So once I've decided on the cakes that I wanted to use, I ended up putting this wedding welcoming sign in the Paris customization to act as a cake shop sign, and then I put down the iron garden table and chairs as a little area where the villagers or other islanders could just sit and enjoy. And now I am just decorating the tables with some grape dishes and Berliners. I really love the way that the Berliners look on the green table and against the color green. And right now I am adding in the final touches. I really loved putting these wedding garden stands right in front of the stalls to break up the joining between them. I just felt like it looked really cute and the colors worked perfectly together. And finally, I am adding in the last item, which is this garden wagon. And yeah, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you are not subscribed, subscribe if you'd like, and if you are interested in more content of my island, I will link my Instagram link below, and I guess that's it for now, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!